is for Tyler Wind in Walking Tall. Immediately front him to his right, the driver that likes to get squiddy with it. You see he tore that thing up all weekend. He's ready to do it again from Deltona, Florida. Give it up for Nick Pagliarulo. Bracken! That's the son and the father-son team. Now let's meet the papa. Right next to him, also from Deltona, Florida, the big Jester leg, Matt Pagliarulo in Jester. Continuing on down the line, one of the regulars on the Monster Truck Throwdown Tour from New England, Michigan, a member of the Mullet Militia. Put your hands together for Jeremy Hoskin and Reckless Driving. Continuing on down, the performance race vehicle itself from Circleville, Ohio. Let's hear for Rick Stephens and Simpson. Our next guy is a former Monster Truck Throwdown Series champion from Atlanta, Georgia. This is John Gordon in Bad Company. The next guy took 2 for 3 last night. He wants to make it a clean sweep tonight. From Bethesda, Maryland, second generation driver in the big Ford, Corey Snyder in Toxic. And last but not least, down the pit end of the track, he is from Catlett, Virginia, and he is here to do it for you, Dinwiddie. This is Brandon Hawkins Buzz Buckshot. Let's hear one more time for all of our Throwdown superstars. Gentlemen, start your engine. fire it back up and keep going. What do you think of the reckless driving so far? Unable to get it. That's what it is to bring the ball. Let's hit for the buckshot. What he was trying to do right there, he wasn't able to do it successfully. He takes a whole lot of skill and a whole lot of luck. He's trying to put it right up on the front wheels. And then what the guys will do is actually walk it backwards on the front wheels back over the rim. And you start to drive the rear wheels into it. Here we go. Comes the Chester. And upside down, what do you think of the Chester? Coming up next, the son of that father-son team, Nick Pagliarulo in Bracken. pick up bad company. Little two-wheel action is going to be done on. We still have one more jump remaining. Ford fans, where you at? This next one's for you. Corey Sneeder, from the best of Maryland, behind the wheel of Toxic. What do you think of the Toxic? But he is falling just below. And your winner for the first time this weekend, Nick Pagliarulo in Kraken. Last time is going to be Tyler Winden walking tall. Good remoting interrupter test on the walking tall. That's a device that actually allows the track crew to shut the trucks off at any point in time during the event if they deem necessary. It's tested every time the trucks run. It's a good test on walking tall, so it's time to go racing. Walking tall, going to try to get her fired back up. And here we go. Let me hear you make some noise. This guy running a big bad blown Hemi under the hood, and he makes all the horsepower he needs. This may be the track for Sampson. And now it's time for the guy who likes to give her the onion, Brandon Buzz, Buckshot. Who thinks Buckshot's going to be your #1 qualifier? Let me hear you make some noise.
Chevy, John Gordon and Bad Company.
And to beat a 9:57.
Coming up next, the big Ford, Corey Snyder in Toxic. How many Toxic fans we got in the house? Let me hear you.
The time to beat, 9:57. Toxic with a very good turn. However, just not quite enough for the Ford of Toxic with that qualifier still with technical sanction.
All right.
Damn. Cool wheels. Yeah,
In battery roll and cracking, delivering that trick, set a time of 10:34. The top five trucks all within a half second of each other. And it's going to be some good racing. And we finally get to it.
Toxic.
And who
going with Buckshot.
Go
Ford
Corey.
versus Chevy. Andy Motorsport, it's a rivalry, and it is no different here on the Monster Truck Throwdown circuit. The next race has to happen, but your winner in the first race, Buckshot, by the length of the tire. Toxic cut a better turn, Buckshot was behind, but Midwest Throwdown Series champion in the left lane. And now your number one qualifier, Sampson, on the starting line. Now, unfortunately for Walking Tall, this is going to be a bye run because Tyler Wynn blew out a ring and pinion in his qualifying run. And he will not be back. So this is going to be a bye run for Sampson. Sampson is going to take on your fast loser in the semifinal round.
Testing last race.
They did that here. I don't think so.
Oop.
Now our next race, Sampson is going up against Toxic. The cool thing about this race, we got Sampson with a Chevy body, Chrysler Power under the hood, Toxic with a Ford body, he's running a big block Chevy power plant. All brands represented here in this race. And this ought to be a dandy.
A dandy. A dandelion.
Who thinks your winner's going to be Toxic? And who's going with the mighty Simpson?
Your winner, Toxic, going to the final round. It's going to be Kraken against Toxic, two second-generation drivers. But before we do, does anybody want a free t-shirt? I don't know. I think I've heard louder crowds than a lot. All right, he's got her fired up.
I don't. Today, he's got one competition left to make it to hat trick. We're going to bring him down to the finish line and have a word with him. Holy shit. Hey.
We thought it would be easy to get your trophy. We set that berm up just for you, buddy. Congratulations, 2 for 2.
Thank you very much, guys. This is a hard-earned win for us, Team Kraken, right here. You know, we had everybody else helping us get this truck started. We had Corey's dad, Jay, with Toxic. They gave us a jump box so we can make that final round. So it was awesome to get this win. Everybody jumped in for us and helped us get this win.
Now, you're a second-generation driver. Your dad drives Jester. Corey's dad, Jay, drove Toxic for a long time. Are you telling me that Jay is the one that gave you guys the jump box that then went out to knock out his son in the final round?
Yes, they gave us a jump box, but you know what? They are one big happy family. We help them when they need it, and they help us when we need it. So it's always a great help to help each other.
Absolutely, it is one big family back there. Once the starting line lights go to green, it's every man for himself, but back there it's one big family. How about it one more time for your racing winner, Nick Pagliarulo and Kraken? We got some more free stuff.
was what a run. Start off our freestyle. A couple pairs of runs. Start off our freestyle. Are you guys having a good time or what?
Don't chew on that, please.
But before we send Buckshot, we have a little request from the crew. Before we send him, on the count of 3, I need everyone to scream, onion. That's right, onion on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
He's also an onion.
What do you think of the buckshot?
Going to idle it off the track. Going to idle it off the track.
Guys from Deltona, Florida, the father and son team. Give it up for Matt Pagliarulo in Chester.
Because he's getting his moments in.
Yeah,
That's why he keeps chewing on his fingers. Tylenol really doesn't help, and he really has to think about
Coming up next, the big four from the Bethesda here, Corey Snyder in Toxic.
hit freestyle.
Coming up next, a former Monster Truck Throwdown Series champion is from Atlanta, Georgia. This is John Gordon and Bad Company.
Yeah.
Hope he didn't break anything.
what it looks like.
What do you think of the Kraken? Man, what a freestyle. Dinwiddie, what'd you think of the monster truck Throwdown?
Blast here. I mean, you guys came out 3 great events here in Dinwiddie, and you guys proved that we need to be back year after year to put a show on for you guys. Did you guys have fun tonight?
Oh yeah, I did. I know you guys did. Sounds like they did too. There's a trophy for you. And Athena has some Throwdown swag. Now tell us what it's like running up and down the road with your whole family every week.
Well, it's crazy. I mean, we just go, you know, during the week, you know, we got some regular jobs. Nick and the crew guys take care of the trucks, and then we come out to the shows, you know, crash all week, crash all weekend when we come out here. We're here to put a show on for you guys. So every one of these guys out here in these pits are just giving it 110%, wrenching on these trucks to come out here and put a show on for you guys. So we're not having fun unless you're having fun.
How about one more time, your freestyle champion, Matt Pagliarulo in Chester. Dinwiddie, that is going to do it for Monster Truck Throwdown in 2020. We have had an awesome weekend, 3 awesome performances, and we are looking forward to come back next year